You know, the very first console I remember my family owning was a Sega Genesis. Naturally, that meant I grew up with Sonic the Hedgehog. I always hear mixed opinions for this series. Some people seem to love it, and some not so much. If you think I'm on the love it side, then I would have to say you're right. I mean, how can you not? The biggest complaint I hear about Sonic is how it's all just run right and jump every once in a while. But I would have to say that there's more to it than that. In some segments of the game, you will need to solve a puzzle. You will literally need to stop and catch a breath in other parts of the game. Honestly, if all you do is run and play the game as fast as you can, you would be sure to miss out on some hidden goodies. And in this part here, you're running in the opposite direction of right. Left. The game is best experienced when you explore and collect as many rings as you can. These monitors right here scattered all over the game contain items to help you out, such as rings, shields, extra lives, shoes that make you run fast, and invincibility stars. The main antagonist is none other than Eggman himself, Dr. Evil Robotnik. For no particular reason, this mad scientist is stealing animals and turning them into evil robots, at least according to the manual. It's up to Sonic to free these poor creatures. You will be defending yourself from choppers, motobugs, crab meats, burrobots, rollers, buzz bombers, jaws, these red bomb things, neutrons, caterpillars, ball hogs, this ball with spikes floating around it, there's even statues that spit fire at you, and many other things. As long as you have rings, you can take damage and lose your rings. But try taking damage with no rings and you're gonna find yourself paying the Grim Reaper a visit. He must be down there. You can also die by getting crushed, falling into a bottomless pit. So much for invincibility. Or even if you just simply run out of time. When you run out of time, they even play the game over music just to rub it in your face. I mean, can you believe it? Sonic can actually run out of time? Go figure. You start off with 3 lives, lose them all, and you get to start the game all over. If you try hard enough, you can even get extra lives by collecting 100 rings or even finding them in these monitors I mentioned earlier. Try even harder, and you can even unlock continues. With these, you get all 3 lives back. But getting these does require patience. You have to first get to the bonus stage. You do this by completing either Act 1 or 2 with at least 50 rings. This giant ring is gonna appear by the end, all you gotta do is jump in. Be careful not to run too fast, otherwise you'll completely miss your chance. Once in this bonus stage, collect a certain amount of rings and you will hear this jingle. While on this bonus stage, you might as well try to collect all the Chaos Emeralds. You will need to collect all 6 of them if you want the real ending. That's easier said than done though. The stage is rotating and Sonic is just bouncing off of everything. If you touch any of these flashing gold coin things, you end the bonus stage. Not to mention, just to get here, you need to finish the act with 50 rings or more. Sure, that's easy to do, I mean, at the beginning of the game, but some of these stages later on, they get pretty brutal. Make one mistake and you'll be sure to lose all your rings. So make sure you get those emeralds early on. If you manage to get any emeralds, they will show up on this screen. And if you happen to have snagged a continue along the way, you even get this cute chibi-fied Sonic. Look how adorable it is. There are 7 zones in the game, and the first 6 of these zones contain 3 acts each. You have the Green Hill, Marble, Spring Yard, Labyrinth, Starlight, Scrap Brain, and the final zone. That one's just a boss fight. The final boss fight, in the Green Hill zone, you're on these green hills, obviously, right? With all sorts of flowers, trees, and waterfalls. There's even a big shiny lake behind you in the background. Doesn't need anything else mentioned other than it's by far the easiest zone in the game. You shouldn't have too much trouble here. Once you find yourself wandering into the Marble Zone, you will find these purple ruins filled with lava, you know, this stuff. Anyways, there's also spike guillotines, hydraulic presses, spikes that come out of the ground, of course your fair share of baddies, and did I cover lava yet? Yeah, that one I think is kinda dangerous. The Spring Yard Zone, well, not much to say other than it kinda reminds me of New York City. The trees back there kinda look like Central Park. You have these half pipes, some pinball style bumpers. Just be sure you watch out with these spike balls and bottomless sections. The labyrinth seems to be everyone's favorite zone. Well, at least for those who have always dreamed of drowning. So there's obviously gonna be water here and lots of it. It's like everywhere you step. You're gonna need to take your time and catch every air bubble. Otherwise, also, watch out for these here. The Starlight Zone kinda looks like you're on a freeway under construction. Going away from the city we saw earlier. If this was a freeway though, I would say it's a freeway from hell. There's fans blowing you in the wrong way, the walls are trying to shoot fire at you, and the parts that aren't complete, well, they're pretty damn sketchy. Once you're all done with that, you will arrive at the Scrap Brain Zone. You can tell some pretty messed up stuff goes on around here. There's swinging spike balls, saws, bottomless pits, hydraulic presses, torches, electric poles, and whatever the this spinning circle thing is. As for the third act, it's just another underwater level. Very similar to the labyrinth, because, well, I don't know, but why not? Luckily it's rather short though, and not too hard, and then you will arrive at the final zone. This is Robotnik's ultimate machine to stop you. A hydraulic press, or rather 4 of them. It's actually a pretty easy fight for being a final boss. All you gotta do is avoid getting zapped since you have no rings, and obviously avoid being crushed. If you happen to have collected all the Chaos Emeralds, you would normally get the real ending here. But if you're like me and you just didn't care or you just had no regard for that type of thing, you just get Robotnik mocking you.